Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Fearless and Undefined. And on this episode of Super Queens, I have a special guest that I got to watch her journey this past summer at a national pageant, and something really stood out to me. She wore these really cool devices, but for her, they weren't just another accessory, they actually help her in her day to day life. And I was so inspired by her confidence and her differences, and I cannot wait for all of you guys to get to meet her and learn more about her and hear what she has to say. So, without further ado, let's go talk to her. So glad you could join me today. Can you tell me just a little bit about yourself for anyone who doesn't know who you are?
Hi, everyone. My name is Reagan Rhodes. I'm your Miss Ultimate USA teen. I'm from the state of Georgia and I'm 17 years old. I'm a senior in high school and I'm also a type 1 diabetic.
Well, it is so good to get to talk to you today. Can you tell me when did you first find out about having type 1 diabetes?
So, my mom noticed when I was in kindergarten that I was getting very sick frequently. I would develop a cold or just all the school illnesses. And she noticed that it would hit me pretty hard. And some of my teachers also talked to her as well, just saying that when we went outside to go play, I didn't have much energy. And obviously, for a 5-year old, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And I got the flu mist about 2 weeks before I was diagnosed. And I think that's what set it, but I just started feeling very lethargic. I had to go to the bathroom a lot. I was very thirsty. And my mom knew something was wrong. She just had that motherly instinct, and usually you just know. So we went to my pediatrician, and I had to do all these labs and testing. It took a whole day. And then my pediatrician diagnosed me with type 1 diabetes at the age of 5 years old. And it completely changed my life. It changed my family's life. And I honestly think it changed it for the better because obviously I'm getting to do this right now. And bringing awareness to other people who are just like me and have gone through all the same situations that I have.
I love that. That's awesome. When did you decide through your pageant journey to not hide it and just to openly show it really?
I think honestly, it was never a question for me. It's always something that I really felt in my heart that was important to do because I want other girls to be able to see representation through me. There are tons of type 1 diabetics all across the United States, and not only just in pageantry, but for whatever sport or whatever you're passionate about, you need to have that representation of people who are like you. So I don't ever think it was really a question for me. I always knew that wearing my devices was important to me. I feel like it's a conversation piece with the judges or all the contestants that I meet during the week. And it just brings me so much joy to be able to bring awareness to people who go through the same situations I do daily.
That's awesome. So tell me, what runs through your head when you go on stage knowing that your devices are showing? Are you nervous? Are you confident? Is there anything that's kind of like maybe giving you second thoughts about it?
I think for me, it's always very empowering because I look at myself and I realize that I'm being able to be a role model for so many other girls across pageantry. At the Alabama State pageant for Miss Ultimate USA, I was able to meet one of our princess contestants with type 1 diabetes, and she also competes with her devices. And it was such a sweet moment to be able to have with she and her mom. And the daughter walked up to me and she said, "I love you because you look like me. There's a queen that looks just like me." And that was just like my aha moment. And it made me realize the importance of competing with my devices. And I was able to have a really sweet moment with her. And I connected with she and her mom. And it was just so special to me to be able to be representation for girls just like me.
Oh, I love that. So obviously, I know that it takes a lot to be able to maintain, blood sugars and keeping up your energy. Is there anything that's specific that you do to make sure that you don't have to go, into diabetic shock, or you have your blood sugar levels good through long pageant weekends?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I know for me, I always eat a very high protein diet, regardless of if I'm at a pageant or whether or not I'm just at home. I always try to eat a very protein heavy breakfast. And this can look like eggs, protein bars, or they even make protein pancakes. And those are my favorite. I absolutely love eating those. But just having some quick snacks with me as well, whether I'm at rehearsals or backstage. And The staff at Miss Ultimate USA was just so sweet to me all of Nationals week. They always checked on me. Do you need a juice box? Do you need a snack? We have things back here for you just in case you need it. And they were just so supportive of me all week. And that's part of the reason why I knew Miss Ultimate USA was my home, was because of that family like atmosphere. And I knew that they cared about me then more than just a number, that I was a person and that they really wanted to take care of me during the week.
I love that's awesome. I feel like that's always a good thing to make sure you have that family feeling no matter where you are.
Oh, yeah,
Have you
for
ever
sure.
had an incident at a pageant where your blood sugar got too low or something like that happened?
Actually, I went into diabetic ketoacidosis at a pageant when I was really younger. So, one of the things that can cause you to go into DKA is taking airplanes. So, I flew to Dallas for an international pageant, and I was there with my mom. I was 8 years old, and we had just gone to the American Girl doll store during the free day. And I was so excited about that. And then I got back to our hotel room, and I just felt really tired. And I wanted to take a nap, and I was thirsty. And my mom and I both thought, oh, well, we're probably just tired from the long day. We went out and explored the city. It's just being at this pageant, it's just draining. Well, it turns out that I had DKA, which is diabetic ketoacidosis, and that's where your body begins to produce acid, which for a diabetic is a really bad thing. You can end up having to go to the hospital for it. So that was very scary. But my nurse was able to talk with me and my mom through the situation over the phone, and we were able to take care of it and get it handled. And I was still able to finish the pageant. Thankfully, that was the free day. So it didn't affect me going to any of the parties or competing or anything. But one of the things that I learned from that experience is the importance of staying hydrated too. And this goes for not just diabetics, but everybody, because, during pageant week, you're running around, it gets very hectic. And it's so important to keep a water bottle with you or sit down and really have meals and have those break times where you can rejuvenate too.
Yeah, I was in a national pageant this summer in Arkansas, and my golly, it was a lot hotter than I was expecting, and
Yes.
I was going through like giant Stanleys, like 2 to 3 a day, just to
Oh,
make sure that I
yes.
was good and that I didn't pass out.
Oh, yeah.
So, what is something that you would like to share for any young girls out there who have this and are a little worried to show their devices on stage or in an interview room?
I think the one thing I would say is that definitely you're not alone. There's tons of representation. I consider myself to be an ambassador for type 1, and there are so many celebrities that have it too. There's a very famous model who wears her devices while she models, and she goes to fashion weeks and she does editorial shoots while wearing her devices. And I feel like it's very important to find those like you that can serve as role models, and that's something that I really enjoyed being able to do through pageantry, is be representation for those people. And I would definitely say don't be afraid to show who you are. I know for me, that's one thing I love talking about with the judges, because I feel like it really sets me apart from all the other contestants. And I love being able to bring awareness to the situation and being able to share things with the judges. Not even necessarily if I win the crown, there may be a judge who's never even heard of type 1 in their entire life, and just having the opportunity to be able to educate them and the contestants and everyone about my experiences is what's really important to me.
I love that. That is awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, and good luck on all of your adventures. And, I hope that you've had the best year being a national queen. And I know you've
Yes,
gotten to
I
do
love
some
it.
fun stuff, and I can't wait to see where your journey goes way beyond this and being able to continue to share this story.
Thank you. I'm so excited. In a few weeks, we're actually going to New York City and we're going to model for Chrissy King in New York City. And I cannot wait. And my mom surprised me yesterday at dinner, and she looked at my dad and was like, do you want to tell her? And I was like, wait, is there a secret? And she surprised me that the last day of our trip, we're going to have tea at the plaza. So I'm so excited. I have to go ahead and get all my outfits planned out, and I'm just really looking forward to it. Like, I
Oh my
cannot
God.
wait. I'm so excited.
I love it. That is awesome. Well, I hope you have the most fun doing that, and I can't wait to follow along on your journey.
Thank you so much.